This is a 2015 American Standard Champion Max. Elongated and chair height. See, the water level's a little high. Originally, when I got this, the siphon jet was so blocked with minerals it wouldn't flush. And I do have a video of that. And since then, I've cleaned it with minerals fairly well. It's still not 100% perfect, but it's way better than it was. But everybody's seen these. I'm just gonna do a few tests on mine here, since I'm not planning to keep something like this. You can go to somebody who needs one, or needs something. So, push and release on a full tank with some stuff from it sitting. Although the rim jets are a lot smaller, than my either 2007 or 8 Champion 4. It seems to do all right. So I'll do a hold flush, and then I'll just put some of my basic stuff through it. It fills pretty quickly. It's actually supposed to flush from there. Definitely makes some difference, so let's start with one red rag. These are essentially shop rags, so they're pretty hydrophobic, but let's see what happens if I don't sink it. Well, that doesn't quite surprise me. It just siphoned right underneath of it. I'm not even gonna give it a full tank here. We'll go right at the water line it's supposed to be at, which is what, an inch? Yeah, well, a quarter inch. Yeah, no problems there. This should also be no problem. Yeah, I flushed it at about a quarter inch, and it really lets out as little water as it possibly can there. Since it did so well on those, we are going to try both of them. Wow. Yeah, no problems there. So I'll find my grocery bag. I had a grocery bag with holes in it. No idea where that is. So this one I sank and flattened out the best I could. So let's see what happens. Well, I technically did it, but barely. So I'll give it a second try at that. Yeah, about exactly the same. With very little rim wash, it's not really pushing stuff down as much as it's trying to pull it along with the siphon jet, really. These don't rely on siphon power. They literally just push everything through. Same with the Class 5s, really. But let's try some golf balls. That's 4. Should be light work for it. If they weren't even there. Let's try more. So there's 6. Now I have up to a dozen, and that's all I have, so we'll keep going until it can't take them anymore. There's 8. It's siphoning really aggressively too. So let's go to 10. Thought I had a dozen. There's probably one floating around somewhere, but there's all 11. Wow. It even extended siphon there a little bit, but No problems there. So now I'm gonna try a bunch of just little small objects. Some float, some don't. We'll see what it does on that. Yeah, everything made it through. I ended up finding my last golf ball, so now we're gonna do all 12. Didn't even matter. Now we're gonna try floating hole saw wood scraps. I have 6 others that are much longer than those, which I try to not use since they sometimes get stuck. Let's see how it does on these. Seems like they all went through. I guess I'll try the bigger ones. It's about what happens. Either they get stuck there or they get stuck at the end, so. There's only 2 at the end out of 6. So we'll have to see where the other one is, but I'll give it a second try. Well, there's the last one. And we're gonna keep trying until it takes them all. Well, there goes one. Wow. It isn't the fault of this thing they're not going through. It's mainly the reason I don't do this test. Yeah, and that's not gonna free itself. Well, it took another one. It was pretty much full to the top, so I'm not really sure what happened there, but now I'm gonna try holding it. Jeez. I'm not taking them out. It has to pass them. They just have to go through at the right angle and they'll go right through. So now we're gonna try bowl rinse, and that's with a grass test. On top of none of this being wet, it's also all floating, which is what makes this test really hard compared to dirt. So push and release. Yeah, it missed that entire section. I mean, of course, there's some stuck to the rim, but otherwise it caught the rest of it. So, since everything's wet now, reach down here, grab. Most of it gets caught in the strainer. The smaller stuff will pass through. I'll grab most of this and spread it back out. This is a stick. That's not going to go through good. Let's see if it can at least clear out the bowl water. There's one problem with 1.28 gallon per flush toilets like this, at least, is they do not bowl clearance super good. And that's what causes mineral buildup, but let's see. Now that time, besides what's coming back in and that, which is probably just a clogged rim jet, that's passable. Now, I'll of course take the water and I'll rinse everything else in, at least the best I can here. And then we'll see if it can rinse what's left in the bowl here. It's not a perfect job, but it's good enough. Yeah, there's like 2 floaters in there. So I'll give it one more try with the wet grass. I mean, considering how much was in there, that's not half bad, but that basically just means not 100% of the water was exchanged, which is ideally what you want. It's like 3/4 of a tank. Yeah, there's still 1 floater in there. I did check. There is a rim jet there. It's either really small or not punched out all the way. But this is a pretty big test. It's the gray rag in the grocery bag, so I'll give it a press and release and we'll see what it does from there. Wow, you did it. Let's try it again, but holding the handle open. Wow, that was too much for it. So let's just pull it out enough. Now I try and squish the bag out so it's just the mass of the plastic and not air with it, because that's what makes it not pass. If these had the whole volume of water in the tank and not half of it because the flush valve is so high, and they just close the flapper that quickly, these would probably do a lot better. It's like what overfilling it does. You're just adding that volume back. So I'm gonna hold it open. It looks like it is airing up a little bit. So don't take it failing these 2, because the first time, of course it struggled, but it did it, so that tells me it can. Just trying to make sure the bag's as flat as possible. Again, it's gonna pass it. I don't just give it one shot. It's gonna do whatever it needs to get it through. Wow. What's this, an air bubble? Not even. Okay. It's gonna get that through one way or another. It's slowly starting to move. The siphon power definitely is necessary. There it goes. Along with the push from the siphon jet, the actual pulling is also necessary. They act together to pass everything through. So now we're going to try starting with 2 nitrile mechanics gloves. Since the bowl wasn't fully refilled, I held it a little bit. Neither of these are sunk, so we'll see. Okay, well, even if they were sunk, they still stuck to the sides. Now, they are used, and they were just to do some work on a car. I'm not exactly sure what, but they may have a thin film of oil, but that shouldn't make them stick to the side, so. Now they're sunk. Fill valve's about to shut off. All right, let's try 4 now. Perfect. I have the overflow tube jamming the float down and the overflow blocked. And once it starts coming over the top, I'm gonna push and release it and we're gonna see what it does. It's about 1/2 inch from the top. And okay, here we go. Of course, that's gonna spray. If I can jam it. Okay, that's fine. And we're gonna watch from inside the tank here. I think that flapper, float, valve, whatever, is float based. So it's not like I thought. Okay. I'm gonna have to end up holding this down. It's not like I thought where it just lets all the air out, I don't think. I'm not gonna go as overfull because I don't need to. We're just gonna watch and see what it does. Huh, it is. Well, that's pretty neat. Let's give a grass test on that and see what happens. Now, that's a pretty easy way to turn a Fluidmaster fill valve into a manual valve, but this is as much as I could grab with one hand. And plus, it is from a more fine cut of grass. So, here we go. Jeez. I'm just gonna put all of that back plus some and give it a second try, because that was pretty pitiful. Try it again. Now again, besides that disaster, oh, I washed it into the bowl. Okay, let's do this the right way. Grab everything I can that it let out. Just mix it in. So it's just in the bowl of water. And we'll go from there. I'm gonna let it go completely over the top, which it's pretty close now. You hear it start hitting the floor. Now, I did rinse my hand in the tank. Now there's no grass left in the tank, but I still expected it to completely clear everything out of there. Not even gonna give it any help. I'm just gonna leave a heaping mass in there. This is the last time I'm trying it. Besides those specks that were left there, and the bit of sponge, from the sponge I'm using to plug it, looks like it actually got everything. So let me clean up this mess real quick. This is the part list under the lid. I haven't cleaned the lid yet, but you can see it's called a Champion 4 Max. So maybe this isn't called a Champion Max, it's called a Champion 4 Max. But let's put the tank lid here. Drop it looks like. And this is an American Standard seat, and you can see it's pretty slim and nice looking. And slow close. So there's not much more I can think of. I could just start cobbling tests together, but what's the real point in that? It just drags the video out longer. But the only other thing we can really do here is take a look around, maybe see the underside. No, that's not a crack, it's a piece of grass. See if slow close works. The original Champion handle. So now we'll do some regular flushes. Not even a full tank. I think that's gonna be it. Again, these are pretty common, but I wanted to put it through some of my own tests. And this one's in fairly nice shape and pretty nice looking, at least for something modern. Which usually modern stuff has no flare, but the lid's got some design to it. The base, it's not bad. Along with right here, it's kind of hard to say. Just the American Standard logo. I think there's a sticker on this side. Yeah, there is. You can see it's designed for 1.8 to 1.6 since these bowls were designed and used with both. Before the end here, here's the exit. As you can see, it is dual fed. I'll grab a golf ball here. Well, the orange one, I guess, for scale. And I mean, it's got a lot of room to spare. You can tell I haven't perfectly cleaned this yet, but before it goes away, it will be. But look up inside the trap. Yeah, not perfectly clean, but good enough. That's really it for this 2015 American Standard Champion 4 Max.